Hey everybody, 6 o'clock, Manny's Galaxy. I'm David Patrick Wilson. Got a little special show today. My daughter's birthday, my oldest daughter, Justine. And these songs are from a musical that I wrote for her many, many moons ago. This is for you, Just. I hope that you get a chance to hear it. You so warm and fine. You're not like me. From a place so high that I can never reach. You know we must be the strangers at the fair. Not that we should care how far from the tree you fall. In a world grown cold and cruel, no questions asked, I'd risk it all. Love is oh so blind, and I'm your fool. She was 13 years old when I wrote this. Be the lyrics inside from the darkest streets. Survive 1,000 trials. Feel a heart that beats. Should we have to be the two that really care? Darling, it's not fair. How far from the tree you fall. In a world grown cold and cruel, no questions asked, I'd risk it all. Love is oh so blind, oh so blind. Must we always play it cool? Love is oh so blind. As for you, Just, yeah, boy, I'll tell you, I wrote this in Stockholm. I was living there. I had a hit show, and I was hired to write another one so that somebody could have their wife play a role in a musical. And so I wrote this musical, but I never got a chance to do it over there. Things happen, you know. Stuff happens all the time. So there I was in Sweden, and you know the interesting thing about it at the time was, you know, that's when the Russian submarines, I don't know if anybody's out there remembers that, but there were Russian submarines that were, you know, moving into Stockholm Harbor, and there were truck drivers. I uncovered quite a hairy tale, but the Russians were sending truck drivers into Scandinavia to map the roads and the routes so that they could, because they were planning on invading Scandinavia. And apparently this idiot, you know, he's kind of revived that thought. And, you know, I'm going to caution him, man. You're not dealing with, you open that can of worms, boy, that's going to put a stink on you like you'll never get over. They'll bury you with it, literally. So, in any event, this musical was called Monkey Business in the Jungle, and takes place around. It's about you don't know if it's an urban jungle or if it's a real jungle, but all the characters are animals. You know, there's a tiger and a monkey and a big boa constrictor and an elephant cub, a maiden, little elephant maiden, and a swan and an alligator, and so the temple guard is this boa constrictor, and he's up on the top of it. He says, "Hey, listen, man, I remember a time when things went really crazy," and he starts to tell this screwy story about how all these animals chose to try out other mates. They wanted to check out other species because they weren't getting it at home. You know what I mean? It was a bad time. So the tiger falls for the monkey, the boa constrictor falls for the elephant maiden, right? Makes sense. And the alligator just falls in love with the swan. It's just like, and there's one other character who's just out of her mind, and she's a Black Panther, and she's just flat out screwy. Panthers have a real interesting family life. Look it up. In any event, that was kind of the basic story, and it's what happens between these different species in their moments, in their events. This next tune that I'm going to do, now I wrote these songs. What you're hearing now are the original tapes, man. I unearthed these recently when I was looking for some of my past stuff to put together for. We're doing these NFT things in modern musicians where you can buy relics, and most of my work is a relic. I'm a relic. I'm not telling you can buy me, but what the heck? Anybody out there, honey?
Yep, you got Stacy Alexander.
Oh yeah,
Michael
Stacy.
Stalka,
Hey.
Emma Ionelli.
Wow.
And you've got
Mikey Sawdust.
Yep.
All right.
And Ho Chin.
Wow. Hey, welcome everybody. All right, this next tune, okay, this is kind of my homage to disco, I guess, and this is a song that the snake sings to the elephant maiden, right? He's trying to entice her with his charms.
And Linda Vetti's out there.
Hey, Linda.
Right.
Linda Corvetti. That's Hot Rod. Okay, so that's what this next tune is, and if the quality of the music is a little bit weird, it's because these tapes are like ancient, and I'm playing them through a tape and through a PA, and singing along to them, so along with my vocals. So I'm kind of accompanying myself at the same time, trying to figure out who's making the mistake. No, don't even bother. Anyway, here we go. There's the tail end of that one.
Party line.
Yeah, this is you'll get it. By the way, yeah, Nan just brought up, so that's my producer boss over there, is back on in the saddle over there, riding hard. Yeah, this is called Party Lines, and I don't know if anybody remembers having party lines, but that used to be the way you had to communicate, and everybody knew your business, right? So that's kind of what this is about. If it feels like an 80s beat and an 80s tune, that's because I wrote it then. Stood in line at the club of the show when they were pounding nose. The boys made jokes about the way they rose, as if they were ones that have their bathroom fun. Those days are gone, now the boys all run, party in hand to try and beat the band, while the girls wait behind to get their party line, so they can fool themselves by feeling fine. The night gets longer and the dreams get stronger, the people come home, it's now a party of one. The fantasy grows like the veins in your nose, the real fun is gone, you sit there all alone. The party was great, but it's past too late, and you got off no matter what it cost. You can't put it down, it goes around and around. When it's all through, what did it do for you? Yeah. Everybody get up and disco. This is a party line you're on. Sorry, the party time has gone. I'd like to see a brand new party party, but we could get it on just 1-to-1 with no holds barred. We could party hard, still be straight when we make our date. I'd stand in line if I thought I could find someone like you that I could get into. On second thought, maybe I ought to look for a rose with a smaller nose. It used to be fine when the girls stood in line at the front of the show when they were powdered their nose, and the boys made jokes about the way they rode, as if they were wanting to have the bathroom fun. Those days are gone, now the boys all run, power in hand to try and beat the band, while the girls wait behind to get the party line so they can fool themselves by feeling fine. Partying out there. Get your party line going. This is a party line you're on. Sorry, the party line is gone. The night gets longer and things get stronger. The beat on the horn. It's now a party of one. As she rolls like the veins in your nose, the real fun is gone. You sit there all alone. The party was great, but it's past too late. You got off, no matter what it costs. You can't put it down. It goes around and around, and when it's all through, what did it do for you? I'd like to see a brand new party where we could get it on just 1-to-1 with no holds barred. We could party hard and still be straight when we make our date. I'd stand in line if I thought I could find someone like you that I could get into. On second thought, maybe I ought to just let it go, and only heaven knows. Oh, no, not the way they did. This is a party line you're on. Sorry, the party line is gone. Say what? Johnny did what? Hey, Susie. Johnny did Susie? Oh, no, you can't mean that. Oh, well, I'm sorry, wrong call. I sabotaged my own tape. I hit the wire, and that's what all that buzzing was about. Luckily, I figured it out pretty quickly. Before the bridge. You can't allow the interference in the bridge. You know, the funny thing about this was I wrote this, and in 83, 84, and we rehearsed it. We didn't have any place to put it. We didn't have any place to, we had clubs that were interested in putting it up in Stockholm, which is where I was living, but they didn't. We didn't have any rehearsal space, so I had to put the thing together. So we rehearsed it in an open, in a park. There was a park that had like abandoned tennis courts, and we built these structures, man. It was like these scaffoldings, right? And ropes and nets, and all of the set was like three-dimensional, and everybody climbed through it, and it was really cool. We had steps for the temple, it was a very hip thing. And I was, it really broke my heart that we couldn't get it done. We just did, when we finished rehearsing, the clubs were all booked, and we would have had to wait. And by that time, there were things that happened that just sent me back to the States. As a matter of fact, what happened was I wasn't really clear about the Swedish tax situation, and I had this big hit show that I had 53 people working, and I didn't realize you had to pay the people, you had to pay social costs, what they call so equal to the pay. So I was paying top dollar to all of these people, but I wasn't paying the taxes. So a guy comes in, knocks on my door, and he says, hello? Yeah, Mr. Wilson, the fact of the matter is you owe about $400,000. Who? What? So anyway, I had to go back to the States, and I came back to the States, and I was, I was working for like 6 months, and I made the money back, which was interesting because I got back to the States. I didn't even have an agent, but and then I was about to go back to Stockholm, and I got a phone call from my live-in at that time, and she said, "No, don't bother. I moved in with somebody else." Oh, those Swedes. What are you gonna do? Anyway, but really what's interesting about it is, when I stayed in LA, and I got the series Bronx Zoo. I mean, how ironic is that? I write a musical about animals in the jungle, and I get a TV series about animals in a school in the Bronx called the Bronx Zoo. It was, I don't know, I thought it was kind of fun. Anyway, now this next number is, this is the tiger, man. He's been thrown out by his mate because she's afraid that he's going to eat the cubs, which tigers apparently will do. I took this right out of nature, and as I said, the tiger was enamored of the monkey. So he's messed up, man. He's really tripping. So this is his first song when we first see him, and the monkey watches him go through this whole thing. The monkey princess, and she thinks he's a man, which he thinks is absolutely hilarious. Anyway, let's see if we can cue this up. Well, that's the end of the party. All right. How much time we got? How are we doing?
15 minutes.
We're good. We are so good. Hey, listen, you know what? You guys should go willygilly.com, We'll talk. We got merch. You guys, we need your support. It would be great. Love to see it. It's called Rockin' the Jungle. Looking for a street fight, finding nothing, living on a Saturday night, running some street just sharing my world, stealing into the night with a local band girl, rocking out in the jungle, power to the givers in this tipping world. Flashing out when you're rolling, fire in your eyes when you realize here is the place to begin. Here in this place I can win. Oh man, when you know there's no place to hide. Keep it together when you just can't. Dying when you realize Here in this place to begin. Here in this place I can win. Hey, I just wanna win. I just wanna win, yeah. I just wanna win, yeah. No more giving in. I just wanna win. I just wanna win, yeah. This is this place to begin. Woo! No more, no more, no more, no more giving in, yeah. Woo! I just wanna win, yeah. This is where we begin. Come on, come on, come on, come on. I just wanna win, yeah. I just wanna win, yeah. Woo! How about them apples? I had a real kick doing this thing too, you know. I had some great people in it. You know, there's a lot of talented people in Sweden. And I mean, you know, I did this first show, End of the Rainbow, and I cast it, and we did it in 17 days from when I started writing it. And I wrote all of these different characters. You know, it was all about dead rock and roll stars coming back and telling their stories for the first time. And it was all original material. You know, we didn't license anything, but I didn't name anybody. And the thing was that you went to the club that we were performing it in, and people would have to guess, and they never wanted to leave. You know, the police would come and have to chase them off the streets at 3 o'clock in the morning. It's pretty crazy. In any event, oh yeah, I loved working in Sweden. It was a great place to work. You know, it was a whole different way of working over there. You know, and my kids hated that I was there because I wasn't around for them much at that point. But, you know, I couldn't be around for them at that point. Well, there were only two of them at that point, actually. My oldest son and my oldest daughter. She was with her mother, living in Des Moines, Iowa, and that's another old story. In any event, I never got a chance to play these songs for you, Jess. If you're out there, I doubt that you are. She hasn't spoken to me about 5 years, but what are you going to do? That happens, you know. I guess kids, when they find out the truth about some things, they just don't want to know the people that tell it. It's not just kids, it's just anybody, you know. But don't ever stop telling the truth, people, because that's the only thing that counts, you know. I mean, you take a look at what's happening in this world right now, and what's happening in Ukraine, and what's happening in so many different places, and all of the killings that are going on in the streets here. People got to start telling the truth. And anybody that's not paying attention to what's happening in Washington around the truth down there now, boy, oh boy, you are in the wrong place. Your head is way up a dark space that I don't even want to describe. But pay attention, people. It's all going to change, one way or another. Anyway, the last song that I've got is called On the Ground. And it's a song that the Monkey Princess sings when she comes down from the top of the tree. It actually happens before the first song that I sang. She's curious. She wants to know. But, you know, the thing about monkeys is when they come down, they can't, if they go onto the ground, they can never go back to the top, the very tip top of the tree. You know, and she loved to go up to the very tip top and look out and see the whole world from that height, you know, which was the highest part of the jungle. And she never wanted to lose that, right? And there's another whole part of the story, because the Black Panther is real jealous of her because the tiger's paying far too much attention to him, and he wants her to pay attention to her because she's even hornier than the elephant. I don't know. In any event, so this song, she sings. The tiger's watching her while she's singing this song, and she thinks that he's a man because she's walking on the ground. She has very little experience. She's kind of naive, but this is her song called On the Ground. Here we go. I think we're going. I mean, this is some hokey setup I got going on here, people. You know, we got quite a production outfit here. It's the two of us and a lot of winging it. You know what I mean? But what the heck? We're having fun. You having fun?
Are you finished?
Yeah. I haven't sung these songs in 35 years either, so it's a little rough. Bear with me, will you? Luckily, I got my other me covering. Here we go. There's a place where I swore I would never tread. Those who do, I hear, live in fear and dread. Where dreams are only good when you're in your bed, so you can plainly see. I'd rather sing and dance instead of walking, where those people can be found. All that's walking, oh Lord, it's such an awful sound. There might be a way, join the best of two. Your colors will collide, you mix in brown and blue. It would be very fine, seems like the thing to do, but I don't think it works. Purple is a passion when you're talking. All that nonsense you round, all that's walking. Lord, it's such an awful sound. Don't you ever put me down there on that ground. These guys are the band that I used for the previous show. We were all really counting on getting this thing going through. We had quite a crew, quite a company. That's the way it is since time itself began. Endless tug of war goes on in spite of man. We have learned too much about the things we can, so I don't think I'll touch the place he stands while he's talking. All that nonsense he's found and he's walking. Lord, it's such an awful sound. No, you'll never. You feel down, you're on me down to the ground. To the ground. To the ground. To the ground. No use talking all that nonsense you found. No use talking. Lord, it's such a really sound. Don't you ever put me down there on the ground. That's it, everybody. That's our show. That's our music. That's our play. Justine, we love you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Justine. Happy birthday to you. Hey, everybody out there, be well, be safe. Get in touch. You know, we got email. We got P.O. Box 1, Goshen, New York, 10924. And we are over and out. Love you. Bye.